Howdy folks, welcome back to Cattle and Crops. It's October 2nd, and I thought I would put some slurry on the fields and cultivate that in and see what effect that had. Don't really know if that's the right thing to do, but we're going to try it. So if we go to, I think it's F6, there we go. So if we go here to field number 14, it's the field I'm right there in front of. See, it has all these values for pH, nitrogen, phosphate, potassium. I'm kind of interested to see what changes. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I'm going to put some slurry down and we're going to cultivate it under. I don't know if this is the right timing, like I said, but that's what we're going to do today. We do have a lot of slurry, thanks to the bowls. And you may or may not notice, this is the 1800 NB track intercooler. I've upgraded, sold off the 1400. Got this bad boy, which gives us 180 horsepower to play with. Need to move over just a bit. One problem with the NB tracks is they don't have a lot of turn radius when you're hooked up to stuff like this. But they are cheap. That is their main advantage. Alright, let's turn that on. I think it's turned on. It is not. I had mistaken impression that if I just hit B it would turn the thing on, but it doesn't look like it did. Let's back up. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, I hit B. Now it's on. Okay. I don't think there's an effect for it coming out of the pipes. It just kind of makes the ground wet. It's a little hard to see here in the harvested state. There's still some straw left on the field as well. I'm just going to cultivate all that under, which I think will work. A lot of what I'm doing on this series is experimenting, figuring out how things work in cattle and crops. As you can tell, we got to work a lot harder going back uphill. Nice to hear that engine roar. I don't know what happened there in the middle. Somehow we missed planting the crop. No, it doesn't look like we're doing much, but the slurry is going out. We should be able to see it on the bare dirt over there. Once we pass through there, you can kind of tell there's little wet spots. You zoom out. So we're going to come down here. And can't turn very sharp. We're going to try to turn as sharp as I can, head back up the hill. Zoom right in here, you'll see little wet spots occasionally. That's really the only indication we have that it's actually doing anything. Because, like I said, it's missing all the effects of it coming out of the hose. Alright, let's turn that off. Run through the tree. Excellent. And we should just need to run like one pass down through the middle here. You just coast downhill. we should have some pretty good coverage. I don't care too much about overlap because we have a ton of slurry. Well, actually, we can just leave that out. Oh, I can't cancel the fold. Once the fold has begun, it's done. I didn't think the, is it the Axion, the one I have? The smaller class? I didn't think that tractor would handle this full of slurry. So I went ahead and got the big Mercedes. It's definitely the cheapest 180 horsepower you can have. Alright, so that's that. Let's take a look at the field. Go to number 14 and we pop cell right back up there. Now, I don't remember for sure, but I think the nitrogen and the potassium went up. But what I'll do is I'll take another screenshot, and then in post-edit, I can take a look at the two screenshots and compare and have some pithy commentary. It'll be awesome. And here is said pithy commentary in the post-edit. Taking a look at the difference. Wetness, of course, went up because we dumped a bunch of slurry on it. And pH went up quite a bit, nitrogen went up quite a bit, and potassium went up quite a bit. And interestingly enough, the fruit quality expands, so that's probably a bug. Hummus went up just a tiny bit, but really it was pH changed because nitrogen and potassium went up. And the field got a lot wetter. So yeah, pretty cool. Looks like it's doing its thing. In the meantime, let's drop the trailer off. Support down and detach. Whoa! Kicked me out. And let's go grab a cultivator. Should have a cultivator right up here. I've also upgraded the cultivator to go along with the upgraded tractor. Let's say hop in here where it's a little quieter, but it's actually quite noisy in the cab. Turn off some of this noise. I do like how it's like a completely different sound when you're in the cab. There's a cultivator sitting over there. Also a kitty cat in the way. Just like a cat, run straight away. Alloway cat. There you go. Good kitty. I had some trouble with trailers and stuff attaching. We'll see if this will attach. There we go. No problems with that. Hop back outside here. Nice, clean cultivator, never used. Brand spanking new. I'm gonna knock some of the new off of it. Thought about going one step bigger. I'll see how this performs with the 1800. Nope, that's the farm sim key for cruise. There we go. What's my cruise set at? 10. Give that a whirl. Make a lot of noise back there. Hop in the cab here. clanking around back there. Before we get too much further, is this... Does it have a lean down? It feels like the steering wheel is really far away from me. That's hazards. I don't see any kind of a button to move the steering wheel. Alright. Just head back up the hill. And we can clip through these trees, but try to avoid them. You know what? I'm not sure it's going to cultivate the straw in. I still see clumps of straw here. How are we looking? Oh, it is. Alright. It just didn't delete those. Yes, it's cultivating everything into the ground. That's good news. That's what I wanted to have happen. Some pretty good animation and particle effects on the cultivator. Saw they had an update on the forum today, and let's see, today is Saturday, the 9th. I believe this video will be out on Tuesday, but I saw an update on the Cattle and Crops forum. They said they're working on the new patch and the Physics 4.0 integration, and the first version was headed to testers. So I don't know what that means as far as time frame, but at least they do have a version going to the testers. So they're hard at work on that. Looking forward to the new update. In the meantime, we farm, so I think we'll take this fall here, heading into winter, and get all the fields slurried and cultivated. I don't think we need to do any plowing, but we'll do slurry and cultivation. I do... we still have some corn, I think, over on 3. We had that late crop of corn. So I'll probably sell that for some money. Because we'll have to buy seed in the spring to plant all these fields. There we go. So that's kind of the plan, and then we'll just be basically fast forwarding over to spring once we get all the field prep done. And it'll be another year, and we'll check on the cows. I think we've got another 3 of them above 1,500 pounds, so not quite ready. I'd like to have a full trailer load ready to go. So we'll check on them in the spring, see how many we got ready to sell. And we'll just kind of sell, I guess, in the spring and fall, whenever we have bulls ready to go. I assume they stop growing at some point. It might be interesting just to let them go and see how big they do get. So maybe I'll pick one of the big guys and just let him go, see how big he gets. After this pass, I'm going to pull up the field info again and take a quick look at it. So I would assume it would show like some kind of cultivation effect. And number 14. Yeah, the loosening I think was at 5%, so it's gone up. Cultivation has gone up naturally. And then it's changing over from wheat to no fruit. So this is like what it used to have planted on it. What I was confused about was the quality and growth are still full. I don't know if that resets once you've got rid of, you know, got it all the way to no fruit. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. Wetness. I didn't see what those were. I'd have to go back and look. So, yeah. We'll just keep on cultivating. I don't know how much of that field stuff is done. I do blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I can't talk. I know, Bull, right? I do know that they want to have really deep simulation on the soil, and you'll have to really manage your crops and make sure they have the proper nutrients, and fight off disease and all that good stuff. So, looking forward to that. So, I'm not sure how long videos you want on this. Feel free to comment and let me know. I did get some feedback from a viewer about the sound being too low, so I've been trying to leave that higher so you can appreciate the sound in the game. Any other feedback, just let me know. If there's something you want to see in the game specifically, let me know. We'll get it on the list. Otherwise, I'm just kind of running the farm the best I can, figuring things out. There is a mod cedar available. I'm going to try to use that in the spring to plant. See how that goes. It's a little small guy that I can stick behind my tractor rather than have to buy rent the big cedar and the big tractor. And kind of do our own thing. The little loading wagon I had didn't really work out. I actually streamed a few hours of working the farm, and the little loading wagon would just clog constantly, no matter how slow you went. So I ended up selling it back. I rented the big loading wagon and the big Deutschfahrer from in-game, and picked up all the straw except for the big field. So, I don't know. May take a look at the mod. I don't know if that's something you can easily adjust, but it just clogged. It was just basically unusable on most of the field. I got kind of lucky with the first part, where it was thin, but any of the big windrows, you just couldn't pick it up. Even driving like 2 kilometers an hour, it would clog. But still testing out mods. We'll see how the cedar goes. There's a little Massey Ferguson with a front loader that Revo's working on, so I'll try that out when it's available. If that works out, I might replace the class with that. In the meantime, there's lots of driving back and forth on fields to do, so I'm going to do that. See how much. Yeah, we got a third of a tank of fuel or so. It seems to do a random amount of fuel when you buy or rent things. So you gotta watch out, especially on those rental machines. Make sure you actually have fuel. But why are you not raised up? You are raised up, you're just dragging on the ground a bit. Alright. I don't think it raised it up very high, so it was dragging on the ground. A little bit of wetness right there, you can see the sun shining on it. Good thing they don't simulate smell. I'm sure this would not smell good. Hop back in the cab. Oopsie daisy. Actually, I think I'm going to go back and forth and do a couple of headlands here because we're going to get into the trees. This view just seems really weird. Maybe it's because I'm used to the track IR. We're used to the smaller version of the tractor. Whoa! I like the hydraulics. They kind of feel somewhat natural. But a crop there we didn't get in, apparently. Don't know why I didn't end up harvesting that. Just now noticed that, in fact. Getting nice and muddy. There we go. Alright, up through the trees. Not literally through the trees. The bush. Let's head down this direction. Drop down. And off we go. So even this little small field here takes a little bit of time to get to get worked. Field 3 is a monster. I usually just hire a helper for it. It took, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours to plow when I hired a helper to do it. Takes a little while to turn around. I like how you have to actually, you know, spin the wheel. It's not instantaneous like some other games. And when I'm using my G27, there's a lot of wheel spinning going on. Just back on mouse and keyboard today. Thought about getting a front weight, but I think with this cultivator we're okay. We might be able to go up to the bigger cultivator. And then see if there's any wheel slip. You'll see mud flying if you're getting wheel slip. Back right into the bushes. So just more of the same. That's what I'm going to be doing here on the farm for the next several hours. Getting this all worked in. I might try using some helpers just to see how that works out. But I'll probably do most of it myself. Kind of fun and relaxing, but I think I'll cut the video here. Just going to watch me drive back and forth in the field. Just more of the same. So I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks as always for hanging out, and take care.